Welcome to the Richardson Simple Living. My name's Maria, and if you're new here, I vlog home life things, homeschooling, a bit of urban homesteading, cooking, all kinds of things. Today we're covering some homeschooling matters, books actually, books that Sian's been reading, books that she's read last year, through the school year that is, and books that she's going to be reading this year. Now Sian's school year runs the same as any school year, September till July, isn't it? September till July, I have to think then, yeah. So she runs them the same with the same holidays. But somebody had asked me what book Sian has been reading, because I used to give regular updates, but I don't so much now because, well, nothing much changes. But I thought, well, a year has gone by, so we can do a nice book review, and not just what she's been reading as part of her schooling, but also what she's been reading herself, because Sian does 3 days of actual schooling, which she's alongside me now doing some English, and then she does 2 days of self-led schooling, which is things she chooses to do, and she does choose to do some amazing things, and sort of things that you'd never do in school, or you might touch on, but she can really delve in deep. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're going to show you what book she's been reading. So I said, just bring me a few samples of your books, and I've got a great big huge pile alongside me, which is back to my knee level. But we're going to show you what she has been reading and what she's going to be reading. So first of all, I'll just talk about a structured work, and she does some reading as part of that. Ever since she started school, because she did go to mainstream school for her primary years, infant and primary, and she did reading at home with me, and we continued that when we started homeschooling at the start of secondary years, and we're still doing it. And I'm thinking now, well, maybe we don't need to be doing it so much now, because Sian's a brilliant reader, but I just like listening to stories, and that time is good. But anyway, I didn't buy no new books last year, because a year before that I bought some books for school reading, and we never got round to reading them, because the last school year she did all of Laura Ingalls Wilder, I can't say the name, books. We did all of the Little House on the Prairie books and studied the pioneering life and things like that, and so we read the entire series of them. So that's what she did all of last year, and it took all of the school year doing that. So there's no other books to show you, and I didn't get all those books down, but you can Google them if you're interested in them. So we did that for the whole of last school year, which finished in July of last year, and ran from September the previous year, if you get what I mean. All of that school year she did the Little House on the Prairie series. So that left us with the books that we'd bought for that year, and we'd bought them the previous year, and they were just sat in the drawer, and I thought they were brand new books and we do want to do them, so we're doing them for this year. Some of them seem a bit young now, but the stories are good. I like the stories, and I'm not young, so I don't think age matters when it comes to reading a book. If you enjoy a story, you enjoy a story. Age has got nothing to do with it. So she'd got a couple of Jacqueline Wilson books. I'll bring them next to me. I haven't bought one of them down actually, but it was the Primrose Valley Railway, something like that. Primrose Railway Children. And we read that. That was a good book, although I did think it finished a bit suddenly. It's gone really long book. It's a big book, and the story was really sort of drawn out and good. And then it was like the author Jacqueline Wilson got to the end and thought, oh dear, I better finish it. We've got a lot of pages here, and she suddenly quickly finished it. And I'd like to have gone more into that and how it wound up. But yeah, we did that one, and we'd got another Jacqueline Wilson one. This is the one she's doing at the moment, Lola Rose, and that's about a girl whose father was quite violent towards her mother, and then turned his violence towards a daughter, and so they fled. And at the moment we're just seeing them setting up a new life in London. So we've We're only so far in it. We started it just before Christmas, so she's only read that much at the moment. So we're not sure how that's going to end yet, and we don't like to sneak a look at the end. We just like to see how it goes. I think you enjoy a story more if you do that, go with the flow of it, rather than know what's going to happen at the end of it. So that's what she's doing at the moment as part of her schooling. And then we've got 3 more books that I had bought that need to be read. So we've got The Valley of Lost Secrets. We don't know what that's going to be like. Because on World Book Day, I always used to buy her a book or 2 every year. And last year I didn't, because we knew we'd got so many to read. And I probably won't this year because there's so many to read. But up until then, I always had, and this was one of them. So it's set during World War II time of September 1939, and it's an adventure. So we got that one to read. Also, this is a good one, Good Night, Mr. Tom. I've seen the movie of this. I've never read the book, but I've seen the movie. And it's quite a sad story. And it's nice, but sad as well. So that's a good one we've got left to read. And Tom's Midnight Garden. Now, I've seen the movie of that as well. I don't think Sian has seen the movie of that, but that's a good story. And so we've got that one left to read. So we're on the Lola Rose, and we've just got these 3 to do. So we should get these done by the end of July when she finishes this year, which she's in year 10. So I think beyond that, then maybe we will stop doing the read aloud and reading together time. Maybe then she'll have quiet reading time then and go into her own books, which is what she does at the moment during her self-led work. So I'm going to show you some that she's read during the last year and into what she's going to be reading this year. So she's read Jurassic World The Evolution, Claire. I have a big pile next to me, so I've got to try and pile them all back up without them falling over. And Sian likes things in order. The Lost Will, Jurassic Park. Is that Jurassic Park? I just realised I haven't got my reading glasses on. I've got my normal ones on. There's another Jurassic Park one here as well. So she's got 2 of them that she's read. Put them the right way. I don't want Sian to tell me off. Then we've got Tea with Hitler, which was all about World War II and Edward's relationship with Hitler. So she's read that. That's a good one. I think I might have a read of that one myself, because that does sound interesting. She likes some meaty stuff, Sian does. She's read Field Marshal, The Life and Death of Erwin Rommel. So that's quite a big book. So she's read that one during this last year. Last year, I should say. We have not had a chance to do this year yet. Karl Marx, she's read all of that. And again, quite a thick, meaty book. Then she's read The Innocence of Kaiser Wilhelm II. She sits in a room and reads and reads. Then she's got Kaiser Wilhelm II, A Life in Power, that she's read. Again, quite nice sized books. Now, these last 2 books I'm going to show you that she has read. She only had them at Christmas and she's read them already, because this is something she's doing in her self-led time. She's been studying the Soviet space dogs along with some other of space animals from other countries, but her main interest at the moment is Soviet space dogs. So she's read one here, and it's in Russian, so I can't say the name of them. Can you? Well, I know you.
It says Soviet space dogs on it.
What's that though?
That means Soviet space dogs.
Oh, apparently that is Soviet space dogs in Russian.
The dogs on the front.
I knew that.
The dogs on the front are Valka and Strelka.
Valka and Strelka. So she's read them, and a nice little picture of the dogs. It's quite sad, the stories of these dogs. It's quite cruel, I think. And this is Laika. I do know this is Laika, the story of Laika, the dog that was sent to space by Russia, and they knew he was going to die. almost with the almost with the intentions that, you know, she was going to die.
Well,
and that's the story.
She was the first animal to orbit the Earth, and they knew that they couldn't bring her back down because there was no technology to deorbit at the time.
Dark. So they knew they couldn't bring her back because there was no technology to deal with it then. So they knew that she would die. So she's had those for Christmas, and she's already read both of them already. Now, a book that she is reading, she put to one side so she could read the Space Dogs because she was so keen to read them. That one she's halfway through at the moment is The Life and Times of Winston Churchill. Now, that's an old book, The Struggle for Survival. That's quite an old book. She got it from... Well, she had it as a gift, but it was bought from a second-hand bookstore. Was it Shugborough Hall? So it's quite a thick one. It's a lot of, you can see the pages, there's a lot of heavy reading in there. So she's halfway through it, you can see the thing, and she's reading that. And for Christmas, she had a DVD on Churchill as well, because she'd been doing some studying of him and the person he was. So this is what she's reading at the moment, and this is what I mean, she likes really meaty things to sort of look into and really research. So that's what she's reading at the moment. Now, coming up, what she hopes to read, I have to bend down here because I put them all next to me. The House of Godwin. That's something that we bought her at Christmas because in her GCSE history, she's doing all about the Normans at the moment and all the struggles then and when they invaded, took over. So she's been doing about that. And then I saw this book, The House of Godwin. I thought, oh, she's got no reading material on that. So I thought, we'll get her that and she can have a look at it. The Rise and Fall of an Anglo-Saxon Dynasty. And I've been looking at that quite a bit as well lately because doing ancestry and studies and things like that. So coupled with that and what Sian's doing, I thought it'd be really interesting to read. So I think she'd like that. So she's going to be reading that. And something she wanted to look into, if I can lift them up because they're heavy, because it's in a set, is the James Herriot All Creatures Great and Small set. It's got the complete works of them. As the sun's catching me. So she's going to be reading all through those. So I don't know, she perhaps read The House of Godwin first, means it's on its own before she starts a whole set, because she'll want to read those one after the other anyway. So she's got all those to do. And she's had the DVD series, but it's a new series of All Creatures Great and Small that she's had the DVDs of. She's never seen them before, so we're hoping she likes them, but quite like the sound of it myself, actually. So they're the things that she's been reading, school-wise and self-led-wise, and what she's going to be reading. And I'm sure she'll have plenty more books during the year that she'll read, because these won't take her long at all. I mean, the school ones will probably take her up till nearly the end of this school year. And then, like I say, from then onwards, then I think that we'll just allocate some time during the schooling part just to do a bit of self-led reading, whether she reads a chapter of her own chosen book from her own self-led section, you know. But we'll see how we work it then. But at the moment, we're working through those that we did buy, because I thought, well, we don't want to waste them. Now we bought them. They've been sitting in the drawer 2 years, so I thought this year we'll get them done this school year. So, yeah, that's what she's been reading. I mean, what sort of books do you read if you're homeschoolers? What sort of books have you been doing with your children? And if you're not a homeschooler and you've just watched out of interest, do you like reading? What sort of books do you like reading? Let us know in the comments down below. And personally, I like fictional things around World War II, because I find that although the authors, it's fictional what they write, the authors research the period to get settings right and that, and so you get a glimmer of life during those times from their researches, even though the characters and the situations are fictional. But I enjoy that sort of book, and I like a good history book as well. I like to read a history because I look for some of Sian's, like I think that House of Godwin looks good, and Tea with Hitler looks good, that I would read them as well. So they're the sort of things I like reading, and that's what Sian's been reading. So thank you for watching. We'll be back again now. We'll definitely be back on Friday. I don't know if we'll pop on before Friday. If we get a chance, we will. If not, we'll be back on Friday with more air frying. And I think this Friday I'm going to attempt to do an egg custard tart. I've got lots of eggs that need using, and I've got pastry in my freezer, so I thought I might have a go at doing an egg custard tart in the air fryer. I've done baked egg custard in the air fryer before, but I've never actually done an egg custard tart, and I do like them. So I think that's what we're going to do this Friday. So whether I see you before or see you on Friday, until then, thank you for watching and take care. Bye.